Hot Feet drills it into left field. McCoy back. McCoy's going to watch it go. Hot Feet leads the yard for the second time this year. And Fresno takes an 8-6 lead in the bottom of the 8th. Welcome to In the Den, your inside look with the Fresno Grizzlies. I'm Tim Slack. We had a blast this homestand with Zoo Night on Friday night, Sunday night, Easter Sunday. But we had our first 1v1 food truck throwdown, and Korean corn dogs were awesome. Fun is the point of the game. We're going to take a look at highlights later on. The Grizzlies had some fun, especially to close out the series as they split with the Lake Elsinore Storm. But before we get to the highlights, we're going to talk to Eric DeYoung. Who's Eric DeYoung? Captain Grizzly, one of the guys who is the master of fun, master of ceremonies here at Chukchansi Park. Get to know why he loves being a part of the Grizzlies family so much. We'll talk to him, and then we'll get you the highlights here on In the Den. We're back here on In the Den, and I'm out of my element, but I'm in yours.
That's right. This is where I am most comfortable in life.
Tim Slack, the broadcaster of the Fresno Grizzlies. Captain Grizzly, better known to your family as Eric DeYoung. When's the last time anybody called you Eric, though?
I did actually have some fans out here who said, hey, what do we call you? And I said, oh, it's Captain Grizzly. And he's like, no, but what's your real name? And I'm like, Captain Grizzly, what are you talking about, my real name? But yes, Eric DeYoung is my real name, my civilian name.
How did you transform into Captain Grizzly? When you look back, how did that happen?
All right. So this is my 4th season, I think, with the Grizzlies, right? It kind of goes back. I don't know. How much time do we have?
Let's sit down. Let's go.
Get comfortable. So, all right, buckle in, friends.
Half-hour show.
Oh, good. I own my company called Fresno Social Sports with my buddy Luis. Shout out to Lou. And we do social sporting events and leagues and things throughout the Central Valley, right? That's our gig. That's our thing. So we do adult social sports, which is a bunch of adults hanging out at the park playing kickball or softball or dodgeball, pickleball, all kinds of stuff. Bowling season is coming up. Join Fresno Social Sports Bowling. Registration closes soon. Cornhole, all kinds of fun stuff. And then we have Fresno Social Junior, where we have youth kickball and other sports leagues throughout the summer. It's a lot of fun. That's Fresno Social Sports and Fresno Social Junior. The whole
so you
point
were
of
doing
this.
that?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I swear there's a connection here. But some of the Grizzlies brass, we had Jonathan Bravo and Ray Ortiz came out to Fresyes Fest.
Okay.
4 or 5 years ago, where Fresno Social Sports was hosting a game zone to entertain people throughout the day, right? Because we set up cornhole and pickleball and badminton and stuff out there. People were coming out and playing the games. That was fun. That's what we do. And both of them came up to us and said, hey, you guys are really good at entertaining a crowd. Why don't you come do that with the Grizzlies? So we started doing entertainment on Friday and Saturday nights over here in the cantina for the Grizzlies games. Then Ray had a sick day. I don't remember the exact story of what happened, but they said, hey, we need somebody to fill in as host. Eric, are you comfortable jumping on the mic and doing that? And I said, absolutely. I'll perform all day. I would love to. That was my first performing gig just as Eric for the Fresno Grizzlies hosting 4 years ago. That's how I got started here with the Grizzlies, with my other company, Fresno Social Sports, getting brought in to do entertainment, and then randomly filling in for Ray to host a game 4 years ago.
So when did the cape come in? How did the nickname be bestowed upon you?
So good point, right? At that time, it was still just Eric. They made me a red Grizzlies jersey with the name DeYoung on the back. I still have it, right? So I was just Eric DeYoung at that point. And I think we should look back in the archives. Get Jonathan Bravo to actually work. We can look through the archives and look up. But I think it was Superhero Night.
Okay.
Theme here at the Grizzlies.
And it's
like maybe Marvel or
Yeah.
Superhero Night or something. And I took one of these. This was actually a giveaway.
Yeah.
This was like one of the first 1,500 fans get a free Growlifornia giveaway like 4 or 5 years ago. I strapped it on as a cape just for fun while I was hosting a game. That evening after the game, I saw Derek Franks out here on the concourse. And he said, hey, great job. That was a lot of fun. And then he looked at me and he said, by the way, you should wear that cape every time you host from now on. And I was like, oh yeah, that'd be funny, right? And he looked at me in that Derek Franks very eye-to-eye contact way, and he goes, no, seriously. He said, no, seriously, you should do that.
And it's stuck ever since.
I know, so I just started wearing it, and then, again, just joking throughout the office, it sort of said, oh, we got this superhero, this Captain Grizzly, ha ha ha.
I love it.
That was it, a very organic creation.
Well, and that's my attachment to you personally. It was Sharon before, but my boys, when I came as a fan last year, saw the cape and wanted to come up to you. and that is something that I think everybody says across the board, because you turned, you stopped, you made sure they were having a good time. I think you even said hi to me. And it's one of those things that everybody who sees you at the ballpark knows that this energy doesn't waver. You are excited about Grizzlies baseball. You're excited about Chuck Chansey Park, downtown Fresno. Where does that passion come from?
I mean, I'm just excited about life in general. I know that's a stupid answer, but like truthfully, if you're not having fun in life, then what are you doing? You know, you have a choice every single morning. Am I going to have a good day or am I going to have a bad day? No matter what life throws at you, you have a choice on how you react to it. And I just choose to make the most of it and have a good time with life, right? But more, closely related then to actually answer your question about the game and everything, right? Is like, I just enjoy doing it. I like having fun in my life. I like helping other people have fun. If I can be the reason that you have a little bit more fun today, that gives me a lot of fulfillment, a lot of pleasure to know that I helped somebody else have a better day.
That's awesome. So talk about fun. We've talked a lot this year about it happens here, meaning you can experience everything at the ballpark here in downtown Fresno, but you're involved in the on-field promos, you're involved in getting Parker out on the field. What is your favorite thing that has happened on the field with one of those events?
I mean, watching people fall over is always fun during like the dizzy bat, relay races, or
Nothing says love and life like somebody just
I mean,
going down.
again, if you can't laugh at yourself, then you can't laugh at others. And I mean, look at this outfit. Clearly, I have no problem laughing at myself or others laughing at me. So, I expect to give it back every once in a while. But Mini Parkers,
Love it.
I think that's got to be my actual answer. Every single time I see the Mini Parkers out there, and I don't even have anything to do with that. Like that whole promo, that just runs itself. But watching those kids in those little Mini Parker costumes, like absolute hands down favorite thing to watch at the stadium, period.
So I want to ask you about Parker, because I think that is something like my affinity for him skyrocketed this year, being part of the organization. And when you talk about your mission of just helping people have fun and love life, and that is synonymous with what the Grizzlies want to do, right? Where does that cross-section come with Parker and how you're able to interact with him?
So this whole character of Captain Grizzly, right, to me, in my mind, fits in as Parker's sidekick. Like, I am the Robin to Parker's Batman, is how I think of it. I give that human talking, costumed character mascot element, to Parker's presence. So when I introduce Parker and when I interact with Parker and the fans on Parker, I imagine in my mind's eye myself as kind of a cartoon mascot character, So watching the Mini Parkers, right? That's like, I don't know. It's almost like we're building the mascot alliance. I don't know. Like we're calling like all Parkers come out to the field, and I'm watching Parker train the future mascots, and I don't know. It's just fun. It's just fun.
Yeah. Well, and
End of sentence.
well, I was going to say that is a perfect thing to say. Is it is just fun, and that's what we love, and that's what I think a lot of people appreciate about you. Is you make it fun, you share the love in that regard. What are you looking forward to about this year? What is on tap that in year 4-ish 5? What is most exciting to Captain Grizzly?
Well, I mean, the increased focus / commitment to the fan experience that the Grizzlies organization have seemingly really committed to. Like, to me, first of all, it's job security, but it's again, I'm here to have fun.
Yeah.
You know, and if I'm not having fun, then I don't deserve to be here. And if I'm not helping other people have fun, then I don't deserve to be here, right? I am an elected fan official, and I want the fans to keep electing me as their host and human mascot. So the Grizzlies really leaning into that entertainment aspect, the fan experience aspect. I mean, heck, the food prices, $3 hot dogs, $3 sodas, like that's these promotions, the What a Deal Wednesday, having these fun, the collab with Fresno Street Eats with like the food truck, the 1v1 food truck battles. So, 2 taco trucks, who does it better? Or 2 Mediterranean trucks, who does it like that's fun. Oh, and there's also baseball. You know, like that's how I think a lot of people think about, you know, the Grizzlies games in general.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where all of sports entertainment and everything is going. And that's kind of how it needs to be.
Absolutely.
And again, seeing that commitment from the organization really excites me, because it's not just, pardon anybody if I offend, you know, including company here, but like, you know, it's not just old baseball fans, you know, speaking as an old baseball fan. Like, you don't have to know what a balk is to come out here and enjoy the game. There was one last night. That was fun. I explained it to a couple kids around me. I said, he kind of messed up his thing, but like, we're educating and we're having fun and we're doing stuff. And we're building a new fan base who maybe isn't coming for the baseball game initially. Yeah. But they have so much fun here that they keep coming back. And they do start to learn about the game. And they do start to appreciate it. And 5 whatever years from now, somebody is going to see Felix Tena, if I'm saying that name right, at a Rockies game somewhere, and will know that, like, oh dang, I used to see that guy at the Grizzlies. You know, they're not paying attention to it now. But it's going to grow into a broader appreciation of the game, and a broader love of the downtown area, and a broader love of Fresno as a city. Man. Well, I'm geeking out here.
And that is perfect, because that's something that, you know, minor league baseball is talking about in general. It's come for the fun, stay for the baseball. And I mentioned my kids earlier, right? Like, this is the age where they are just exploding in their passion for the game. But what excites them about coming out? It's the food, it's the fun, it's just everything that you guys are doing on the field throughout the game. And then they're watching their heroes in baseball build their baseball careers. Last thing I'll ask you is that explanation right there, is that part of the reason when you get to do when you get the opportunities like Wild About Reading, where you're going into the community and representing the organization, is that where that cross section hits for you?
Absolutely. Man, what an honor. What an absolute honor. Again, I'm just on cloud 9. I am beyond belief. My flabbers are gasted every time I get to come out here and act like a goofball in front of thousands of people in the name of baseball, right? But like, then going the step further, this season was my first time going out to do the Wild About Reading program. And I mean, that changed things to where now I'm seeing kids who say, oh, you went to Pratt Elementary, you went to Heaton, oh man, I saw you over at blah, blah, blah. And I ask them, did you read your books? Yeah, I read them all. And I say, how many was it? And they went, all 8 of them. And I said, I got you. It's supposed to be 10 books. And they're like, oh no, you got me. But like, they're there and they experience that, and they know that, and they're reading. And that, now they're earning a ticket. They're getting rewarded for doing that. And they're coming to cash that in. It's just amazing to see that. Heck, I got stopped at Smart and Final the other day. Seriously. I got stopped at Smart and Final. Robert Fisher, I see you. Bravo, that was the guy. He got his daughter, Leia. I don't know if we can use names in this. But Princess Leia, she was our princess for the night on it's not Pirates and Princesses, but on Princess Night. Sure. She was here. She was our honorary princess of the game. She had a little unicorn and a tutu on.
Yeah.
But they got season tickets. They upped
That's awesome.
their season. So now this is a business like promo.
Yeah.
Robert upped his season tickets. They used to have like maybe 4-game package or something. He's coming to like 16 or 20 games or something now. And Leia is having a blast. And we get high fives the whole time.
Yeah.
I was at her elementary school. She brought a book to read on Saturday on opening night. And I was like, no, you can't be that bored. I'm not doing my job right. But no, she wanted to show me the book that she was reading out of her 10 books.
Awesome.
It's all so interconnected.
And they recognize you without the cape.
Even without the cape.
There you go. Well, you said it's an honor, and I would tell you it's an honor for us to have you here. Thanks for sharing your story with us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
Captain Grizzly will be right back on In the Den. Thanks to Captain Grizzly for taking time out and just showing us his passion for the Fresno Grizzlies and why he loves coming out to Chancey Park so much. We hope you had fun coming out this week and the Grizzlies gave you plenty to cheer about. The Fresno Grizzlies began a 6-game series against the Lake Elsinore Storm on Tuesday night at Chancey Park in downtown Fresno, and LeBaron Johnson was the starter to get things going in the right direction. The Lake Elsinore Storm made a bunch of transactions before Tuesday's game, and LeBaron Johnson said, I don't care. Struck out Kavaris Tears, a former national champion at Tennessee. Alex McCoy, big 6'6" right-handed hitter who hit the ball hard all week, goes down swinging. Johnson featured a power slider and a fastball in the mid-90s. Got a bunch of swings and misses throughout the night. 6 strikeouts to help set up the Grizzlies' 4 scoreless innings as he worked around some base runners. The offense he received came in an unusual way. Grizzlies have spent most of the season manufacturing runs, but right off the bat, Kelvin Hidalgo facing the Padres' top pitching prospect, Cash Mayfield. He goes the opposite way in the first inning, and Fresno had the early lead handed to Johnson. It would be one of 2 home runs that Hidalgo would hit in the series as he got off to a really hot start. But the Grizzlies out in front early because of the power of Hidalgo. Then they got back to the formula on the bases, and stealing bases was a common theme throughout the weekend for the California League leaders on the base pass. Yaiker Reyes stealing third with the Grizzlies up 2-0, making life tough on the Lake Elsinore catchers. Anytime the Grizzlies got on base, they were running. Blake Wright stealing second base, Wright with 5 steals on the season. He has yet to be caught. Bottom of the 5th, Reyes had his second steal in the ballgame as he took second. And those moments set up a lot of opportunities for Fresno throughout the day. Late in the ballgame, with the game tied at 3, Felix Tena grounds the ball to third, and Reyes, who was already on third base, scores, putting pressure on the Storm. And then when the pressure was on the Grizzlies, Luke Jewett gets a double play in the top of the 8th. A big couple of outs with the Grizzlies leading by 1. The bullpen would bow its neck a couple more times in the game, but with the runner going, Juan Castillo cuts down the attempted base stealer. Nathan Blasick in the 9th inning gets a strikeout with the tying run on second and the go-ahead run on first for Lake Elsinore. And then with 2 outs, and Nolan Clifford is able to throw out the runner and end the ballgame as Fresno holds on to the 4-3 lead on Tuesday night. Grizzlies got the first win. Fidel Ulloa worked a scoreless inning in the 7th to pick up the win. Nathan Blasick earned his 3rd save as the Grizzlies would start strong in the series. And then how about some fun on Wednesday night? Tommy Hopvee had pranked the special assistant to the general manager, Clint Hurdle, during spring training. He saw Clint Hurdle's nameplate. He took a picture with it. Clint Hurdle promised to get Tommy Hotve back, and Wednesday night he did. Anytime Hotve came to the plate, they threw Clint Hurdle's picture up. And in the 5th inning, Tommy Hotve said, "I would like my picture back." He tripled into the right field corner. That started a really good game for him, but we'll get back to that in a minute because Fresno's formula has been pitching and defense and winning on the bases. And Ismael Luciano got some help from his catcher Juan Castillo, who threw somebody out on Tuesday night. Gets Cason Wells, who had been perfect in 7 stolen base attempts. That was the first time he was caught stealing, keeping Lake Elsinore's lead to 1. And then a little bit of defense. How about the California League's best team at turning double plays? Kelvin Hidalgo says, "I'll take that myself," and turns the double play. The Grizzlies were running on Wednesday night themselves. Kelvin Hidalgo stealing third. That was important because that was his 4th steal of the night, ties the Grizzlies' franchise record for single game steals. And then they got lucky. A wild pitch in a tie ball game comes right back to Juan Castillo, who turns around and tags out the would-be go-ahead run and kept the game tied at 4. So everything going right for Fresno on the bases, whether it was when they were stealing or when the other team was trying to steal. But game tied late, and Tommy Hotve was at the plate with the bases loaded, and Hotve came through with the infield drawn in, drives in 2 to give the Grizzlies a 6-4 lead, and Fresno would win game 2 of the series. They opened it up with a 5-run 8th inning and go up 2 games in the series with a 9-4 win on Wednesday night. Fidel Ulloa earned his 2nd consecutive win in as many days as the right-hander. Through 2/3 of an inning, got a strikeout, and then Brady Hill threw a scoreless 9th to close out the win. Austin Becker was also really good in relief. Got the hold after 2 scoreless innings in back of starter Ismael Luciano. Becker had 4 strikeouts, continued his scoreless inning streak. Thursday night, Kelvin Hidalgo continued to hit the ball well. He drove out a big home run, a 2-run homer that pulled it a little bit closer, but Fresno would drop that one 9-4, a reverse score from Wednesday night as Lake Elsinore picked up its first win in the series, and that turned things into a bit of a wrong direction on the week. After taking the first 2 games, Grizzlies fell on Thursday night by the score of 9-4. And then they fell again on Friday night as that game slipped away 19-6. A big 7-run inning from the Storm. And then Lake Elsinore with 3 runs late on Saturday to win 9-6. So the Grizzlies needed a win on Sunday to get the series split, and they jumped out early. Kelvin Hidalgo unloads the bases in the 3rd inning after starter LeBaron Johnson had gone back and forth with Will Varmette, a bases clearing double, and the Grizzlies had an early lead for what seemed like the first time all week, a 3-run advantage as Hidalgo got a slider up in the zone and made him pay, and he made him pay all week. Rose his average by 150 points this week, as well as a big week on the bases. He had 3 more steals today. He had 7 on the week. He's now leading the California League. Tommy Hotve stayed hot as well. With the Grizzlies up 4-0, he doubled down the left field line, and that was a big run at the time to get the Grizzlies up 5-0. They would score an unearned run set up by Kelvin Hidalgo reaching on an error, and then Hidalgo, one of his 3 steals on the day. It would make it 6-2 when Hidalgo eventually came in to score on the RBI single by Blake Wright. But Lake Elsinore would tie it at 6. Into the bottom of the 8th with a runner on, that was Wright. And Tommy Hotve, playing hero, A ball hit 434 feet, over 110 miles an hour off the bat. Hotvey with what ended up being the game-winning home run. He had a massive week for the Grizzlies, and Fresno gets the win. They get the series split. They are now 7-8 on the season before they head out on a 12-game road trip. Hotvey played hero on Wednesday night, and he played hero again on Sunday in a couple of Grizzlies wins. Fresno closer Nathan Blasick ended up getting the win. Justin Lohr got the save. Well, as you saw, Tommy Hotvey played hero in a couple of Grizzly wins. Thanks to Clint Hurdle for sparking the bat of Hotvey, but I know Tommy has been putting in a lot of work, and it paid off. It also paid off for Kelvin Hidalgo, who was named the California League Player of the Week this week. The Major League Baseball communications staff announced on Monday. Hidalgo was 10 for 24. He had a hit and scored a run in every single game of the 6-game series, raised his average up over 100 points, raised his on-base percentage up over 100 points as well. Plus, he added 9 steals. He's now the league leader in the California League with 12. Well, the Grizzlies are on the road this week, beginning a 12-game road trip. San Jose and Visalia. I'll have the call for you all week, but we hope you'll join us next week right here on the KC24 CBS47 Plus app. We're going to talk to Lance Cardoza about Tequila Fest. I'll show you what it's like at Excite Ballpark in San Jose, and we'll show you highlights from the series, plus maybe a special player interview. But that's all for now from Tuckchansie Park. I'm Tim Slack. Thanks for watching this episode of In the Den.